Oh wow. Okay. Hey, what's going down? Apparently something happened with my music, and for some reason it wouldn't let me stream anything. So yeah, sorry about that, man.
My music.
It's pretty crazy. Like it was really like, nah, you cool. So let me try to get it going. Hold on. So what's going on? Hello, welcome. I don't know if you guys can see this, but my appearance is bigger because I actually figured out how to move the camera closer to me just by frame. So it's still in the same spot, but I'm not so far away. We're actually closer, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Renita, Miss Anya, hello. Mr. Dady, hello. Jerry, hello. Adira, hey, Caters, what's up, little man? I'm gonna back it up just a little bit. I mean, come on now. Hey, son, how's it going, buddy? All right. We're actually a couple minutes late today. Sorry about that. My um something happened with my theme music. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I tried to play it, it wouldn't do it. But we're here. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So first he said I'm doing good. Good. Good, good, good. How's mama? Just wanted to say hello everybody. Because if I don't say hello to you, some of you, it doesn't matter. I did. I'm happy that you guys are here. For those of you that are here, Christopher, hello. Miss Anya, hello. Rebecca, hello, dear. Caden, my kid, cater waiters. Thank you, buddy. Okay. So we're all here, I think. So before we get started, let's get our clap. Hold on. Hold on, let me put my stuff up. Day 56, ladies and gentlemen. 56. Hold on, where we at? Yeah, can I get a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Can I get a round of applause? Can I get a round of applause for you guys showing up? Okay, awesome, son. Um, get a round of applause for y'all showing up. For me showing up. For it being day 56. And like I told you, if you don't clap for you, you don't get permission to nobody else to clap for you either. So clap for yourselves. Clap for yourselves. Hello, Miss Jessica. Hello. Thank you guys. You guys like the my clapping? Saying, just throwing that out there. Thank you guys so much. Today is day 56 of 100. We're almost there. Right? We are almost there. Anyway, my name is Fearless Cummings, and today we're today's topic is the return of the hero. Now, if you guys remember, in I think season 2, Was it season two? Season two or season three? We talked about this before. Okay. We've already discussed this. We talked about the stages that the journey that the hero goes through. And I told y'all, thank you, Jerry. I told you guys, I said, listen, we're going to talk about that again because to me, it was extremely important. Hello, Jessica, Miss Anya, Miss Renita, my mad scientist. Jerry, thank you. She said that's a lot of clapping. I know it is. I know it is. She said, fuck yes. Yes, we do. Thank you, Miss Anya. But I wanted to come back to this again. I wanted to talk about this again because, again, you know, like I do, repetition is key. And I want to make sure that there's certain things that are stuck in your head. Okay? I want to make sure there's certain things that are just stuck there. All right? So today, that's kind of what we're going to discuss. We're going to kind of fly through them. So we're just going to jump in and get started. My name is Fearless Cummings. I am a life coach. I am your host, your trainer, your teacher, your educator for the evening. Thank you so much for coming. On my channel, we talk about our dreams, goals, aspirations, and problems. I'm going to give you guys some really cool tips, tricks. Today, it's more about perspective. Okay? If I teach anything, it's reframe how to reframe things and mainly how to reframe your perspective. That's it. Okay? Let's jump into it. I use a lot of profanity, and so do the rest of the people in here. If you are easily offended, fuck off. Let's go. I'm not here to motivate you. I'm not here to coddle. I'm not here to fix you because you're not broke. I am here to help. Okay? Good. Okay, I'm not going to do that one. Actually, I'm going to take that one out because we don't need that. All right, so please go grab yourself a pen and pad or whatever you need to stay focused. Drinks, snacks, blankets, snuggie, walkie-talkie, phone charger, and reading glasses if you need to. Hello, bigger family. Repetition is key, like I just talked about. Anything worth knowing, learning, and understanding revolves around repetition. That means you have to keep hearing it, and hearing it again to get used to it. Okay? Hold on, let me broaden me up a little bit. Let me make me bigger. Okay? I want to make sure that you guys know this stuff. Not just on an intellectual level, but on a practical level. Okay? Please ask as many questions as you possibly can. Because again, I'm only here to help. But before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, let me cue up my music. Let me cue up my music. Hold on, where we at? No, I don't. I want to use something else. There it is. I can't move, ladies and gentlemen. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I'm petrified. Not only of the thunder and lightning, but I'm scared of the type of man that I'm about to become in the next couple seconds. And I feel like the Incredible Hulk because I need to get upset. And the only thing that's going to piss me off and energize me and motivate me and inspire me is two words, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, can I get a hell yeah? Can I get my hell yeah? Let me get it. I can't move without us doing this. Can I get my hell yeah? Thank you, Christopher. More cowbell, please. And I promise you it will be coming up. I promise you will get the cowbell tomorrow. Cowbell Central. Right here. On the accent. Yes. Oops. You should have said no. Cowbell's coming tomorrow. But thank you, Miss Renita. Thank you, Mr. Dady. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Jerry. There's Miss Shoddy. There she is. Where's Miss Tanya? I don't see Miss Tanya still yet, but we're gonna go ahead and get it started. We're gonna get it started. You like that, Jessica? That was pretty awesome, wasn't it? With the thunder and this shit. Just saying. Just saying. Throwing it out there. Come on now. All right, so hold on. Where's our theme music? Where's our theme music? God damn it, I forgot to change it. Did I do it? Nope. Ah, you know what? Fuck it. Drop the bomb. That's so stupid. That sounds extremely violent. Whatever. I will get some cowbell and some other cool stuff for it. Anywhom, word of the week is friend. I think we have 2 more days of this and then we can move on to another word. But again, remember, it means somebody who offers trust, support, and shared understanding, good times and bad. Thank you for being my friend. Do 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 do. Child, you know how the song goes. But these people, they're a little bit more than a title, though, aren't they? A friend is somebody that you choose and that is chosen by you without demand, transaction, or obligation. Okay? Remember, please write this down because the next time I hear one of y'all say that such and such is my friend, the next time I hear one of you say, oh, no, this is just my friend. No, we're cool. This is my friend. You want to know what's going to happen? Do you want to? No, matter of fact, that's what you get. That's what you get. That's what you get. You get booed. Yes. Again, please, people. You see this? We will boo you. Boo. That's what you get. Sorry, yes, I'm having fun with these. I'm not going to lie to you. It's getting weird. All right, let's go to the next thing. All right, so our daily synonyms and antonyms of friend. And I will make room definite. I would if I were you. Just saying the definitions are very important. Right? A synonym for friend means comrade. Right? Somebody who shares in the fight, the mission, or the cause with you. This is a friend. A neighbor is not a friend. There's somebody who lives near you, but not personally connected to you. Okay? That happens. The antonym is a frenemy. Somebody who pretends to be a friend, but secretly competes or undermines you. Jessica, we know people like that, don't we? Yachty, we know people like this, don't we? Christopher, we know people like this, don't we? Rebecca, Jerry, we know people like this, don't we? You know what these people get, ladies and gentlemen? I want you guys to guess what these people get. Guess what these people get, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry. I got you. Boo! You get booed. We yell Jerry on your goofy ass. Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. Sorry. I'll stop. Sorry. Anywho, all right. I told you I'm gonna have some fun with these effects. I'm just saying, for $6.99 per month, y'all getting a bunch of this shit. Just throwing it out there. All right, so Return of the Hero. Fun fact, every culture has a version of a hero. From ancient Egyptian mythology to the Marvel movies, the hero's journey appears across time, religion, and storytelling traditions. It is a universal map of human transformation. So this isn't just something that one person gets or several people get. Everybody gets a version of the hero's journey. Everybody, from Superman to what was the old boy's name back in the day? Handicap man. Everybody has a hero's journey. We all have it. Okay. All right, let's jump in there. Number one is the ordinary world. Examples are you show up every day following the same script, but something feels a little off. You ever wake up like that sometimes? That every day is the same, kind of like Groundhog's Day syndrome. Oh, shit. Hold on. We need to do a thing on that. Groundhog's Day syndrome. Yeah, you know what, Chris? I agree with you. Christopher, I agree with you. A frenemy is worse than an enemy. At least an enemy has decent stay word. Yes, yes. They at least know. You know what's really crazy? I'm gonna tell you something that Suge Knight said. Remember the dude from Death Row Records? He said for the most part, it's not your enemies that you need to worry about. He said it's the people you call a friend that you need to worry about. He said your enemies ain't gonna ask you for money. Your enemies ain't gonna ask you to borrow your car. Your enemies ain't gonna learn what they need to learn about you just so they can go spread it to other people. He said your enemy don't want nothing to do with you. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to converse with you. They don't want to borrow shit from you. They don't want nothing to do with you. So and so Chris, I 100% agree with that. That sometimes a frenemy is worse than an enemy because it's a friend who's claiming to be. It's an enemy who's claiming to be your friend. It's a wolf in sheep's clothing, if you will, right? Or vice versa, sheep in wolf's clothing. I mean, that does happen, right? Just saying. Thanks. But like, yeah, so that's kind of what it is. So, is this your life, or is just the one that you settled into? Now, this is a real question. Is the life that you live right now yours, or is it just the one you settled into? So I want you to put mine or settled. That's the answer. Mine or settled. For me, I get to write mine because right now I'm doing exactly what I wanted to do. How you feel, buddy? Good. Oh, Miss Renita said mine. Okay. Okay. So y'all telling me that there's no settling. Come on now. Come on now. Hey y'all. Now come on now. We've been around each other long enough to know that we can be honest with each other. That we can be honest with each other. Is this your life or the one that you settled for? I love that. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know what that means, Miss Anya, but okay. But is the life that you're living, Jerry, Rebecca, Jessica, is the life you're living right now yours or one that you settled into? Miss Yachty, is the life you're living right now yours or the one that you settled into? Okay, she said mine because I'm not settled with. I'm not settled with what? Okay. I'm not settled with it. Okay, cool. All right. And remember, what was it that we talked about yesterday? That everybody said from now on, whatever you say to yourself, whatever you think and you say, this is it. That's it. I want to ask you guys, how's day two? How's day two of holding yourself accountable to your word? How's day two? I had to write that down. I had to write that down. And I'm really asking y'all. So far, so good. Okay. Right now, I've settled, but I'm looking to change this. Oh, thank you for being honest. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, like a wolf in. Right. Okay. I got you. I got you. What about you, Yachty? What about you, Jessica? Where y'all at? Is this life yours or you settling? Or, matter of fact, how about this? Are you guys transitioning? Are you transitioning? Because there's nothing wrong with transitioning. Every hero in a world that feels familiar but not fulfilling. Sorry, every hero starts in a world that feels familiar but unfulfilling. And I know that I felt like that for the last, what, 10 years and more, a little bit more. I felt like that. I felt like that. I know I did, right? How many times have I told y'all how scared I was on certain shit? Come on now. What about you, Rebecca? What about you, Miss Yachty? Jessica, if you're there. All right, we're gonna keep it pushing. But I'm gonna come back to that question. The call to adventure. You guys remember this one? You feel the nudge, the whisper, the this can't be all there is. How many of us have felt this way? Show of hands. Matter of fact, give me an eye. How many of you have felt this way? I know I have. Okay, thank you, Rebecca. She said, partly settled in a cozy, nice way, partly still in progress. Hey, that's what's up. So you're in transition. Okay, I love that, man. Thank you for being honest. Thank you. Okay. Ms. Yachty, you didn't answer that question. Is this your life or are you settling? Or are you in transition? You can say transition. There's nothing wrong with that. You can say, hey, man, I'm in transition right now. So right now, this is kind of what it is. And I totally understand that. Okay. I totally understand that. But each and every one of us, and I'm sure, please, do you agree that each and every single one of us have felt that nudge, that whisper within ourselves saying that this can't be all, there got to be more than this? What truth or challenge is calling you quietly but consistently? What is that thing? What is that thing? What is that chitter chatter in your mind? And I'm not talking about the shit that I'm not talking about it from the standpoint of where it's negative. I'm not saying that. I'm saying from the standpoint that, dude, like you can't shake this feeling. You can't shake this idea. I don't know what it is for you. I know what mine was, and I'm doing it. You hear what I'm saying? I know what mine was, and I'm doing it. Hold on. Hold on. What do you mean by that, Jerry? You said that's not what you said last night. Well, what do you mean by that? I mean, unless you're being sexual, and that's gross and funny. Ah, okay. See, there you guys go. All right. You guys are funny. Gotcha. You guys are. Y'all should see them together. They're funny as shit. Just throwing it out there, right? But the call to action, right? With truth or challenge, is calling you quietly but consistently. I don't know what your thing is, right? What's that little chitter chatter in your head that keeps telling you to do something? He says she knows I don't want to steal the show. You guys are funny. Okay. How about this? Now here's the thing with this, you don't have to tell me out loud. You don't have to. Just put your hand up and say hi. There is something that I keep hearing inside of me. Say the hell you don't. Y'all so funny. Right? I just put hi that there is something that keeps nudging you, that's whispering something to you. That man, there's something more, right? And maybe you can't call it yet, but you know that you keep hearing that noise. How many of you get that noise? Say I. Yeah, like I said, this is mine. Okay, buddy. Right? Jerry says I. Okay. Can I get any more eyes? Oh, hold on, Miss Renita. I didn't catch that. My chitter chatter says, don't give up. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Perfect. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. The call doesn't shout though. It nags you. Okay. And it won't leave you alone. I'm telling you. Like this part right here has bugged me and bothered me for so long. Excuse me. For so long. This little thing, that call to action, has been the one constant thing in my mind for years. That thing that just keeps saying, bro, come on, man, we got work to do. We got work to do. We got work to do. And I still hadn't done it. Man, I'm telling y'all. Okay. All right. Fun fact time. Hold on. Let's. All right, guys. I'm about to blow the horn. Yeah, there it is. I'm just saying. All right. So, fun fact, and we're gonna touch on this in a little bit. The mentor, right? The mentor doesn't have to be a person. And I remember talking to Jessica about this before when we talked about like mentors, guides, sages, coaches, people that show up for you. That it doesn't always have to be an actual person. In many real life journeys, the mentor shows up as a book, as an experiment, which we call failure, an illness, even solitude, even being by yourself. That's what happened to us when we were in the car. Remember that? Right? Something shifts your direction and your attention without asking permission. Something just shifts inside of you. Right? Something inspires you. Something eh, like it inspires your motivation. You hear me? It inspires your motivation. I don't know what that is for you, but man, I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be a person. For me, it was books. And not just books, but real life journey, going through stuff, going through being homeless with a child, being having a imposter syndrome at my company, failing horribly, right? That was my mentorship. That was my that part of my journey. That's why I love to read so much, right? All right, so let's move to the next one. Number 3, refuse the call. Some of us refuse it. You make excuses, you delay, you talk yourself out of it. I have a friend of mine who likes to make furniture. This individual had made so many justifiable excuses for not doing it, right? But again, that you still can't refuse. Well, I guess you can, but he keeps messing with this person because it's not being done. It's not being utilized. It's like, yeah, you're thinking about it. You work on it a little bit, but you're not really putting it out there. You're not really doing it. See what I mean? So, what fear is convincing you that staying stuck is safer? How many of you have felt this way before? Say I. That fear has convinced you that just staying where you are is safer than branching out. Say I. Renita says I. How many would say anybody else? I'm gonna say I. How many of us has fear has convinced us that staying where we are is safer than going out? Hmm? It's crazy, ain't it? All right, think about that. And we convince ourselves of this constantly, don't we? Rebecca said 11 years in my office job. Bye. Okay. That happens, right? So the refusal is part of the story, but not where it has to end. So what do we mean by that? It means that everybody refuses their story. I want you to think about that for a minute. We all have refused that story. We've all refused the call. All of us have. We'll go more into that in a little bit, but we've all done that. So when you go there and you start feeling like, man, I ain't keeping my word, most people haven't. So take solace in that. That most people that get that calling, they don't put their hand up, they don't step forward. They know that there's something wrong. They keep hearing it, but they don't move forward. Right? Right? Again, my if you think what did I tell you at the end of the job, at the end of the day, it's to reframe our perspective and to try to keep things simplified. Keep it simple. Right? Reframe how you think about shit. Not what you think about, how you think about it. Once you see shit a little bit differently, everything changes, doesn't it? Think about that. That so many other people have great people refuse the call, and you think you're the only one who's done it. Nope, not at all. All right, number 4, meeting your mentor. Example: a book, a person, a voice shows up to remind you of what's possible. I like to think I like to think that I represent this for some of you. I hope that I do. A book, a person, a voice shows up to remind you of what's possible. Okay? Who challenges your excuses and activates your courage? Who does that? Who challenges your excuses and activate your courage. Before we started doing this together, let me ask you, I want you don't have to name the person, but I want you just to put how many people either challenged your excuses or activated your courage before we started doing this. How many people did that for you? Who challenged your excuses and activated your um who activated your courage? I can honestly say that I would say two. I think I can honestly say two people. I can say two people from me did that. Damn, Renita. Okay, well, thank you for being honest. I'm happy I can serve. God damn, Chris. Chris said I had about six. I love it. Chris and I've always had people that rocked with me. I like that, man. Thank you, Jerry Bear. I appreciate that, my guy. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Honestly. That's like some heart type shit there. Thank you. Right? But before I came along, you're thank you, Miss Anya. Say you own your conscious and your own guardian angel and your own muse. I appreciate that. I try to be sometimes. Thank you, ma'am. Right? What about you, Jessica? Before we met, who's doing that for you? Again, it doesn't matter who, just how many other people did you have that either challenged your excuses or activated your courage? You too, Yachty. Who challenged your stuff? Okay. Before you, my fire captain. Okay. I love that. Nice. Said my fire captain did that. Okay. The right guide does not rescue you. And I really think that we need to understand that. The right guide, excuse me, does not, they don't need to rescue you. They redirect you. You ever hear me say, man, I'm going to save y'all lives? You ever hear me say, I'm here to motivate you? Have I ever told you that? Have I ever said anything about I'm gonna I'm gonna make sure that your dreams, goals, and aspirations are accomplished? Never once said that. Have I ever told you that, hey, it's gonna be okay, man? Good job. For you doing nothing? Fuck out of here. Ain't nobody doing that. He said after 20 years later, we still talk. That's what you call a friend, Jerry. That's what you call a friend. Hey, that's what I like to hear, Miss Jessica. That's what I like to hear. Right? But I want you guys to think about that. The right guide doesn't rescue you, they redirect you. That's it. That is all. Okay? I love that. All right. Fun fact time. Hold on. Where's our music? Yeah, apparently that like go all the way. Sorry. All right. So fun fact time. The abyss of the psychological death. We talked about that. And we're going to talk about it again in a little bit. But the death in the hero's journey isn't always physical, like we've talked about before. It's often the death of your ego, your identity, or illusions. That's why it feels so intense. Y'all ever lose a job and you feel like your whole life is ended? Like something was taken away from you? Because sometimes when you work at a job, that job becomes your identity. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they always tell you that you got to be very careful about associating what you do with who you are and finding out, who you are with what you do. So, because it kind of goes in on each other, right? You know, they always tell you that how is it? I have a book somewhere around here. Let's see, where's it at? Maybe it's behind me somewhere. Yeah, I think it's on my up underneath my television, but I think it's something along the lines of um, do what you are, do what you are, right? I don't know. That makes sense, right? Like I told you, if this is, I would do this for the rest of my days, rest of my days. What I'm doing right now, teaching, educating, coaching, this right here, I love this stuff. I love it. I don't like what I do. I fucking love it. And in 5 years from now, when people are like, man, why do you charge so much? I can always be like, where were you at 5 years ago when I was doing it for free? Jerry was there. Jessica was there. Yachty was there. Christopher was there. Anya was there. Rebecca was there. Renita was there. Where was y'all? You know, just saying. All right, let's move to the next one. Number 5, crossing that threshold. Remember, taking that leap, quit that job, book that flight, say the truth, right? And that say the truth, remember, like we talked about yesterday, whatever we think about, we gotta, we gotta, we gotta walk that, right? We have to walk that. Okay. Are you willing to move even while afraid? Are you willing? Let me ask you. Are you willing to just take one step? I'm not telling you to jump off the fucking cliff yet. Not yet. We'll get there. It's not now. All I'm asking, take one step. That's it. One eensy tiny little step. Can you do that? Can you do that? Can you take one tiny little step in the direction that you're trying to go? One step. That's all I'm asking. Can you one little step? Can you guys do that? Can we do that? Christopher says yes. Okay. Thank you, Chris. Here, I'm gonna put yes as well. Can you guys take one little step? I'm not asking you to do it all. I'm not. I'm just asking, take a step. One little step. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm asking for. That's all I'm asking for. Just a step. Okay? Not here to motivate you. Not here to inspire. I'm just asking you to take that one tiny little step. Is it a phone call you need to make? Is it a text message you need to send? Can you send it by email? I don't know what your thing is. I'll find out eventually, but I'm just asking you, can you take that one little step? That's it. All right? Be willing to move even if you're afraid. Transformation doesn't happen in safety. It happens at the threshold. You know what the threshold is? The threshold is that little line. Once you draw that line in the sand, it doesn't happen when you're back here. It happens when you're right there. Okay? Just step over. That's it. One tiny little step. That's it. Okay? What did my step look like? Excuse me. I'm not asking y'all to do what I do. Because I'm not going to lie to you. Y'all doing what I do, then you be where I am. Which I'm not necessarily saying I am anywhere in particular. But what I'm saying is that here's my experiences, assumptions, my references, my superstitions are not yours. Okay? When you start moving, that assumption turns into action. So now I have experiences, I have action that I've taken. Now I have the references based on my actions. Now I have a strategy. So it's not superstition anymore. Now it's an actual thing. So all I'm trying to do is get you guys to get enough experience so we can turn those assumptions that you have into action. Okay? And then we can turn those references that you have for assumptions into referential actions, if you will. Right? And then we can turn all that shit into strategy so we can simplify our process. I know it may seem a bit convoluted, but I promise you it's simple as fuck. Remember, where does clarity start? You know what I'm saying? And I'm really asking you, where does clarity start? Where does clarity start? There you go. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Renita. Thank you, Jerry Bear. Listen, starts within. For those of you out there watching who are new to what we do, my name is Fearless Cummings. I'm your host, life coach, and trainer. And today we're talking about the hero's journey and how this is not a movie, it's about you. Okay? If you want to know any more about me, I got 54 other videos, 55 other videos you are more than welcome to go watch. All right? So, I mean, just think about that, guys. Some deep shit. Okay. Number 6, trials, allies, and enemies. And it's funny how that our word of the week is friend. Our word of the week is friend. And we talk about our allies, don't we? But we're also talking about our frenemies too, huh? Huh. You're tested. People fall away, others rise beside you. Sometimes they're friends, sometimes they're foe. And unfortunately, you're not gonna know until it's too late. You're not gonna know until it's too late. I have these rings, right? So this one here is Memento Mori. This one here is Amore Fati. This right here is my car key. Just saying, right? But um, Amore, Amore, Memento Mori and Amore Fati. I want to show you guys real fast exactly what this means. Hold on. Memento mori. Okay. I don't know if you guys can read this. Hold on, let me see. Okay, can you guys see that? This little thing right here. This little thing says the same exact thing that my ring says. Memento mori. Memento mori means that remember you will die. It means remember you will die. It means remember that you're only mortal. You are mortal, which means one day you're going to be out of here. Okay? That's what it means. Now, on the flip side of that, we have another one, which is, hold on one sec, more fatti. Oops. Now, more fatti, let's see, hold on one sec. More fatti basically means to accept your fate. Okay? It means to accept your fate. So, whatever God, the universe, Yahweh, the one has planned for you, you have to accept it for what it is. You can argue all you want, but accept it. That's yours. Ain't no complaining about it, right? It's accepting and embracing everything that happens with happiness. Not necessarily with happiness, but just accepting what it is, right? Now, I want you guys to see something. Which one is this? 24? Okay, hold on, 24. I want you to take a look at my constitution. What's number 5 say? What's number 5 say? What does number 5 say? In my constitution. Matter of fact, you can even go number 5 and number 8 if you will, if you want to. But number 5 says what? And remember, this is my constitution. These are my principles. This isn't somebody else's. This is my shit. I would never tell somebody else to live your life based off of my stuff. I'll help you create your own. You can use mine as an example, but this is my. Thank you, Jerry. Embrace the journey. That's what Morifate means. Morifate, it means embrace it. It means embrace that shit. Right? It doesn't say only embrace it if it's good stuff. No. Nope. It means embrace it. You have to embrace it all. Not some of it, all of it. Okay? All right, let's go back into our thing right quick. Where we at? And damn. So crossing that threshold. Okay. So, all right. So, yeah, I think we already got that one. So, what challenges are shaping you into the version of you that's required? I want you to really think about that. Yeah, that part too, Jerry. Let go, let God, and keep it moving. Is there some shit you can't do nothing about? So why you gonna sit there and stress over that shit? Here's the thing, and I stress. Don't get it twisted. Uh oh man, Jessica will tell you I stress. I do. I just don't stay in a stressful mode. Where she's like, dude, how do you do that? How do you face some insurmountable shit and stay calm? Eh, Jessica, what do I tell you? I know you're painting, but what do I tell you? There's nothing I can do about it. I can only do what I'm able to do. I can't do anything more. If I could try to persuade this one way or the other, I would. But there's some shit that's out of my hands. You know? That's when those trials come in. That's when those allies come in. That's when your friends come in. That's when your enemies come in too. Right? That's where they come from. The journey, like we said before, the journey reveals who's who's for you and who is just familiar. Think about that. The journey reveals who's for you and who is just familiar. Think about that. Because a lot of us don't, do we? We have no idea. We have absolutely no idea. Because some people don't care, right? And that's the journey, unfortunately. What do you guys think about this one? Again, I know that we're going through it again, whatever, but what do you guys think about the hero's journey so far? Do you guys resonate with this? Do you see yourselves in a lot of this? I mean, or is it just me? Because it could just be me. I'm a diehard optimist when it comes to Joseph Campbell's work. I'm an optimist when it comes to his stuff because I see that journey in every single one of us. And we're not even done yet, Jerry Bear. But yeah, he said 3, 4, and 6. Yeah. But that's where you see yourself. Okay. Nah, that's what's up. I get it. I love it. What about you, Renita? What about you, Christopher? What about you, Miss Anya? Yachty, if you're with us. Like I said, man, I don't know about y'all. I'm just telling you. Like, this should be deep. Should be deep to me. Should be deep to me. All right, so number 4, fun fact time. Um, Refusing the call is required. Almost every hero says no at first. This isn't weakness, it's just part of your story. The refusal makes the eventual transformation earned. So when you transform shit, it's because you earned every bit of it. The good, the bad, the nasty, the ugly. You earned it all. Thank you, Miss Renita. She said, now that journey is real. Yeah, it is. Refusing that call is required. It doesn't just happen to you, it happens because of you, it happens for you. It needs you to say no, it needs you to resist it. So every time y'all be like, man, I've been wanting to do this for so long, great. I'm happy when you said, nah, I'll do it later. Perfect. Because that means when it happens for you, it's going to mean that much more to you. Okay? Just throwing that out there. Oh, Paul, please. All right, so the abyss. Okay, hold on. So the abyss, the death, the rebirth, everything breaks, you break, and the old you dies. Think about that. Everything breaks. You're going to break. A part of you is going to be shedded like a snake, like a caterpillar, if you will, the metamorphosis of the transformation. But a part of you has to die off in order for the new part of you to begin. That story of Christ is a story that has been told before that man stepped foot on this planet. You don't have, like I told you, everybody had that story. Everybody had that same story. Y'all think he was the only one with that story? No, not at all. They were talking about that story during the during not only the Egyptians' time, but they were talking about that during the philosophers came after the Egyptians and all that stuff. But that story has been told so long, so many years, that part of you has to pass on. That part of you has to die off. You have to. In order to grow, in order to transcend, you have part of you has to die off. That's a fact. It has to. So y'all got to remember that shit. This is not just something that it sounds good. No, in order for you to become the person that you need to become, you're holding on to a part of you that needs to die off. I really want y'all to think about that. The story of Christ, like I said, even if you, whether you believe it or not, that is a story of personal transformation. Personal. Jesus himself said that if you're looking for heaven, if you're looking for it in the sea, the fish will get there before you. If you're looking for it in the heavens, the birds will get there before you. The kingdom of God is already within you. So y'all looking for everything else, and it's already there. It's sitting right there. We choose not to look. We choose to hold on to that shit that doesn't help us, that doesn't serve us, that is destroying us from the inside out. And we're holding on to it like a long lost love that no longer wants us. And it's so funny because once you move on, oof, oof, you start to understand that thing that you've been holding on to was your own imagination the whole entire time. That fear that you held on to didn't even fucking exist. And then you sit and you're pissed at yourself for sitting there waiting and holding on to something that was never there. Okay? So my question, I guess, to you is, what are you afraid to lose, even though it's not you? It is not who you are anymore. Think about that. What are you afraid to lose, even though it's not even who you are anymore? It's not you. It's done. That's the old you. It's like a snake carrying its fucking skin with it all the time. Why would it do that? Let it go. Because here's the thing, in a little bit, you about to be shedding in a few more months. The bigger you get, the more you have to shed. Y'all walk around holding on to your fucking body. Metaphorically. Gotta let it go. Every real transformation requires the death of your ego. I'm going to say that 2 more times. Every real transformation requires the death of your ego. All of it. You got to go. In order for you to grow, something else has to die off. Fucking fact. In order for, like I teach my son all the time, son, if you want something more, you got to let go of that old shit. Every time I buy a new pair of shoes, I have to get rid of one or two other ones. I haven't bought a pair of shoes in a long time. You know, it's so crazy because my values have shifted. My values shifted. Right? Isn't that deep, Cherry? Ain't that deep? Ain't that deep? Like that. I'm not a Christian by no means of the imagination. And people always ask me, how my aunt asks me all the time, Angie will say, dude, how is it that you know the Bible so well? And I always tell her because I love stories. I love a good story, especially a story that's transformational. Jesus ain't the only one with that story, right? He's not. I just understand that what it actually is. People may take that story literal. You're more than welcome to. I don't take it literal. I take it more of a metaphor that each and every one of us has within us to to get from point A to point B, however that may take. That is what I do. I reframe shit, right? That's all it is. But that's a really deep question for y'all to start asking yourselves. What are you afraid to lose? Even when it's not you anymore. Hmm? Just saying. All right, number 8, the revelation and transformation. Okay, now remember this. The word revelation means to reveal something. It means the unveiling of something. It means that the curtain is opened. That's what the word revelation means. To reveal something. Example is that you realize that the lessons wasn't about them, it was all about you. I want y'all to, I want you to, do y'all understand why I love this story so much? Like I'm really asking, do you guys really truly understand like why I love this? Let me back up just a little bit. Let me back up. Do you guys really understand like why I love this story so much? Like from a father standpoint, from a life coach standpoint, from a trainer standpoint, from a reframing specialist standpoint, do you see why I love the story so much and the steps that go into it, that how it's structured? Give me a dream, give me a goal, give me a problem that we can't solve using this. Give me anything that we can't solve using just this alone. Now we could throw in our LN thing or whatever, or the way that we rewire our brain, right? We could throw that in there too. But tell me if this isn't deep. Tell me that we can't use this to solve damn near any problem that you may have. Like, you know, it's really ironic about this guy, Joseph Campbell. If you study him, he was doing something for most of his life that he didn't really want to do. He wanted to talk about myths, and everybody around him said, that's not going to work. There's no money in it. He's the one who said to follow your bliss. This is the guy. All this stuff that I'm teaching you, all this stuff that he wrote up, he's the one who wrote that. How many of you, by show of hands, say, I have heard the term follow your bliss? How many of you have heard, like, follow your passion, follow your love, follow what you love in life, follow your bliss? How many say I? Here, I'll go first. I. This is the guy who said that. This is the guy who coined that phrase. Follow your bliss. This is him. I think he knew what he was talking about, did he not? We could talk about a lot of other books, and I wish I could shit all over them. I'm a well read individual. right? I'm gonna point out shit that you don't see because that's what I do. But this guy, dude, this is the truth. Like, I love this stuff so much, as you can tell, right? How many times have I told you where does clarity start from? How many times have I told y'all, or asked you, excuse me, rather, where does clarity start? How many times have I asked you, where does integrity start? How many times have I asked you, where does your character start from? You see what I'm saying? What are your principles start? Values, all that. Why do you think I'm always asking you guys that? And why do you think I'm always making sure that you know that it starts within you? All of it. Not some of it, all of it. Starts there. You want to understand why your life fucking sucks? Start here. Start there. A person might say, well, Fearless, hold on, hold on. Hold on. You can sit there and say that shit all day long, but you haven't gone through this. You haven't gone through that. You haven't gone through that. You haven't gone through this. I witnessed this. I witnessed my mama doing this. I was my daddy doing this. I was raised in the state. There's all kinds of excuses of people that people can be like, you haven't seen any of this shit. I say, no, you're right. I personally haven't. But I've read countless of other books on people that actually did live through some of that. One of my favorite books is, matter of fact, I'll show you if you guys don't mind. I'll show you. Hold on. I want to make sure. Hold on. One of my favorite books, y'all, is, hold on. This book right here, Man's Search for Meaning. Dr. Viktor Frankl. Dr. Viktor Frankl. You really want to talk about a person living in hell? He did. The reason why this book, out of all of the World War II books, out of all the books on Nazi Germany, on all of the books on Auschwitz, on all the books on the Jewish eradication, if you will, right? The Holocaust. Here's the reason why this book has survived as long as it has, and it is on so many people's top read lists and top to go to lists, is because of what it was talking about. He talked about what happened to him, right? But the thing about this book that separated his book from everybody else is that he talked about what happened within him. He didn't talk about what happened to him. He talked more about the internal philosophy and strategy and psychology of what happened to him. That's totally different. Yeah, now he did go into the living conditions, but one of the things that he talked about that I was like, wow, I've never heard anything like that, is he was talking about like cigarettes. Hey, son, he was talking about the importance of a cigarette. He said that during that particular time, cigarettes were like cash. It was gold. And if you got a cigarette, you could trade it for food, you could trade it for coats, you could trade it for shoes, you could trade a cigarette for all kinds of stuff. But he said, when I saw a person take that cigarette and light it up and smoke it, he said, I knew that that person had given up on life. And usually within 2 or 3 days, they were dead. Fact. They were gone 2 or 3 days later after they lit that cigarette because they had nothing else to live for. Nothing. So after he survived the Holocaust, he came out and then he started this thing called logotherapy, which was this therapy based on meaning. Finding meaning, finding purpose in your fucking life. Right? Finding her purpose in it. Most people do not, right? This book, I guarantee you, it will change the way that you look at life in general. Guaranteed, right? But this is the thing that happens within them. So, what truth has changed the way that you see everything? Let me ask you guys that. What's happened? Good night, son. Get some rest, little man. Love you. What have you guys seen? What have you guys gone through that has changed everything for you? Matter of fact, you ain't got to tell me what it is. I just want you to just raise your hand and say that. Just say I. That I've been changed on some shit. Just say I. That I've seen enough that I am forever changed. Say I. Yeah, I will go first. Oh, what? Even Miss Renita, my mad scientist, said I. Good night, love. Who else? Who else has seen some shit where your life will be forever be changed? How many of you have seen something big enough, grand enough that changed the way you see everything? Maybe it was a conversation. Maybe it was something that you saw. Maybe it's like how you saw something, right? Because there's deja vu and then there's vuja day, right? Deja vu, you think that you've been here before. Vuja day is seeing something that you've always seen, but today you see it totally different. See what I mean? How many of you have been changed by the way that you see certain things? And that's forever changed the way that that you see things. Miss Renita says, I. What about you, Jerry? What about you, Christopher? What about you, Miss Anya? Said I. There it is. Miss Anya said I. Perfect, right? So wisdom doesn't come from answers. It comes from surviving the abyss. Think about that. Wisdom does not come from answers. It comes from surviving the abyss. It comes from surviving it. Think about that, man. His wisdom. Think about my guy. This book. His wisdom did not come from no answers because wasn't nobody giving him no answers. Nobody. It came from surviving hell. It came from experiencing hell on earth. That's what happened. That's what forever changed that man. There was no more assumptions. There was no more assumptions. It was all action. It was all acknowledgement, awareness. Wasn't no assumption in that. He knew exactly what the fuck happened to him. And he still, even he, listen to me. This man lost his wife. He lost his mother. He lost his father. He watched his whole family get knocked off. How many other people lost their whole entire families during that ordeal? And we have the balls to make excuses? Nah, we ain't doing that. No. Nope. Nope. All right, y'all. All right, love. Is this our last one? All right, almost. All right, fun fact. Most people never cross that threshold. Most people never cross it But why? Because this is the scariest step, like Christopher alluded to. Chris said that first step is the scariest step. That's why most people stay in the ordinary world. They never even leave. They never even left the fucking compound. They stayed up there, repeating cycles and then numbing the call. They hear it, they just don't want to listen to it. Like an ostrich with their fucking head in the sand. I don't want to see it. And then you wonder why you can't fucking grow. That's why. You wonder why you still grown ass man doing fuck shit. Because you refuse to see reality. You refuse to hear that fucking call. Cool. That's what's up. Most people don't even cross it. Don't even cross it. It's crazy. Oh, man, I'm telling y'all. All right, number 9. These are the people that return with the elixir. You come back home, but you're not the same. You better. You don't see nothing the same no more. Nothing. Everything has changed. That's like Superman becoming Superman, battling the forces of evil, and then going back to Kansas. Just looking around like, the fuck am I here for? Right? What truth, what gift, or lesson are you carrying back for others? Now, this ain't my question. This is for you. Because I'm giving you what my gifts are. I'm coming back home with the elixir and I'm giving it to you guys. I'm handing it to you. Here you go. On a silver platter. I'm giving it to you. Okay? So let me ask you guys real fast. What gifts are you giving to other people? What gifts are you carrying back for other people? What are you giving back to us? Or what are you giving us in general? Christopher, what are you giving us? Miss Anya, what are you giving us? Jerry, what are you giving us now, sir? Miss Renita, what are you giving us? What do you give? What truth, gifts, or lessons are you giving us right now? What are you giving us? Chris said, I'm bringing food and friendship. Okay, thank you, Chris. What say you, Jer Bear? What say you, Miss Jessica? What say you? What say you, Yachty? Haven't heard from you most of the night. That works too, Jerry. Renita, where you at? He said, an ear to listen and a heart to care. Sometimes, man, that's exactly what people need. That's man. Sometimes, brother, that's all a person needs, man. That's all a person needs. She said, my time and attention right now. Okay, thank you. The hero always returns, but this time with medicine. And that medicine is the ear to listen, the heart to care, your time and your attention, and food and friendship. That's the elixir that you bring. That's the truth that you bring. That's a gift. That's the lesson that you bring. Okay? Love that. All right. Fun fact time, and I will let y'all out of here, man. So, number 6, the return isn't going back. It's not going back, it's going wiser. Coming home just isn't about retreating, it's about returning with new eyes, new tools, and a message for others. The real hero shares the lesson. One of the things I would tell Yadira all the time is that I don't ever want to know something that y'all don't know. I don't ever want to know something that you guys don't know. So that means whatever I learn, whatever I know, I want to teach it to y'all too, so that we're all on the same page on shit. I don't want to know something that you don't know. Miss Angie says my charm. Miss Angie, you got a lot more than your charm, dear, but yes, I'll take that. You do have that, right? So it's not about retreating. It's about returning, like I said, with those eyes, that tool, and the message for other people. What you guys do for people is truly amazing. It helps people whether you know it or not. Okay. All right, man. We went through quite a bit of stuff today, man. I would ask you which one, but I didn't actually make a list on these. But I think I do have the old ones. So if you guys want the cheat sheet, I will send them back to you guys. I do have a code, not code, but I do have the other one from the other one that I did before. So if you guys want it, let me know. I'll send them to you. I think I still have to send you guys one from yesterday too. So I'll be sending you probably 2 or 3 of them or whatever. But either way, man, thank you guys so much for bearing with me tonight. I know that this was a lot, and again, I love this stuff so much, and I hope that you got out of it as much as I did. Again, that's why we went through it again. And I think that right before we close down, and probably in the 90th, on our 90th episode, I think we're gonna go through this again for one last time. Because at that point it'll be a pattern that we did. But I think we're probably gonna touch on this. Um okay, I got you, sir. I got you. I'll make sure you get them, sir. Um, this is my favorite one out of all of them. And we've done 56, and this is probably one of my top 3 favorites. Top 3 favorites. So again, we're gonna do this one more time before we close out our Axe Fearless stuff. But tonight, man, I just want to say thank you guys so much for sticking with me. For those of y'all who did, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys very much. Get some rest. Dream well. Dream big. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I think tomorrow we're just going to do a Q&A. So we should be pretty, I'll ask some questions and kind of go from there. So tomorrow will be an easy night. But anyway, like Miss Angie always says, bye.